I've just left Annecy, and I thought I'd do a quick little recap because it was very, very interesting. For starters, I totally fucked the entire booking of this trip. So I was staying at the furthest away possible place from Annecy, and I entered the week with 0 meetings, 0 screenings, and no plans. To be honest, the first half of the week was actually insanely difficult. I had nothing to do and no money, so I couldn't really get the festival experience I was after, and I couldn't meet the people I wanted to meet because I couldn't. I've realised I've got a problem with being rude when it comes to interrupting people when I'm trying to network, so everyone else was so locked in on their busy schedules and the conversations they were in that I couldn't really storm my way into the conversation and try and introduce myself and things like that. So I spent 3 days in this blistering heat wave just wandering around the streets. So it was a learning lesson, but fortunately things changed because later in the week, after I'd spent 3 days just roaming the streets, and now I know every single street of Annecy, I attended the Animation Scotland drinks, which, as someone who's never really been in the industry before, I assumed was going to be... Oh God, I suck at recording when there's people around. So on the Wednesday, I spent the full day wandering about in the heat, doing nothing, and I got really, really, really frustrated with myself. Like you'll probably see from the other videos, I got really, really upset just because I thought I'd wasted all my money. I thought I'd wasted this trip. I thought that I was just going to leave Annecy with nothing because all I'd been doing is wandering about, and I had such high expectations going into the week because basically since Glasgow Film Festival, I have had my heart set fully on going to Annecy and finding a producer for the film, because what I've realised over the past couple of months is how important it is to have a producer for not only making the film but specifically accessing funding and things like that, because the reason I had no money in Annecy was because I couldn't get funding because I didn't have a producer. So I ended up just going all in by myself, which I'm sure should be scary, but I was so certain that this was going to go well that up until I was actually physically in Annecy, I really had zero doubts. And then by Wednesday at 4 o'clock, I was literally nothing but doubt. I'd really thought that I'd fucked everything up. But fortunately, the one invite I did have that week was for the Animation Scotland drinks party in town, which, again, this is my first ever Annecy, and as somebody who'd never been before, I don't know why I assumed that it would have just been a bunch of Scottish people having drinks and chatting to people they already know. But I was delighted to find out that when I arrived, it was such an international group. There was people from everywhere, and there was so many people. And in typical Brady fashion, I spent basically the full time sitting with my friends and the people I knew and the people from Glasgow Film Festival that I met through Animatic, which was lovely. But towards the end, I started to get quite uncomfortable because I thought this was my one opportunity in Annecy to actually network and meet the people that I need to meet, and I'd kind of let it just slip by. And yeah, so after chatting to them for a bit, I thought I need to go outside, I need to speak to people, I need to just make myself uncomfortable and just jump into conversations. And the first couple weren't great, they weren't what I wanted, but I met some really nice people and I was talking away, and then I kind of started going back in, and then I bumped into this really lovely Japanese lady, and so I'm new to the industry, even though I'm 32, and I don't know what I'm allowed to say and what I should say when it comes to these kind of things, when it's unofficial conversations. But we had such a lovely, lovely chat, and that she loved the project, and that I was showing her everything about it, and I got the exact response that I was looking for, and she was fantastic. But then I asked her what she did, and she said she was a producer, and I thought, oh my god, a producer's exactly what I'm after. Japan's the exact place that I'd like to be honest, to make the film. And almost in a victory celebration, I thought, oh my god, I need to run in and tell my friends now, I've met a producer, I can't believe it. And it was so funny because, again, it's so uncharacteristic of me. I was walking back in to meet my friends, and I saw this guy standing by himself by the door, and I thought, you know what, I'll just chat to him, there's no one really talking to him. And I won't say names and I won't say companies or anything, but what I will say is we ended up having about a 40-minute conversation that was, quite frankly, without a doubt, the greatest conversation I've had about the film. Like, he was so passionate and interested in just everything that I was looking for, and not only in the project but in me as well, because the thing that impressed me the most, or the thing that meant the most to me, was definitely that we honestly didn't really speak a ton about business or like money or any of the things that I'm not really interested in. Like, we were talking about family and we were talking about life, and like, at the end of the day, the thing that I'm looking for to make this film isn't the most money or the biggest studio. It's I'm looking for good people, and this man from, will not name names, but he'll know who he is, was just such a phenomenal person, and it turns out he's also a producer. So I don't know where that's going to go. I've still got to arrange some sort of meeting next week and send him all the pitch files and things, but I'm super hopeful, and even if nothing comes of it, like, I'm just so happy to get that kind of response to the film, because he just understood it immediately. He knew exactly what I was after, and like the dynamic of producer and creative, or producer and artist and director or whatever, was also exactly what I was looking for. Because I've got a problem with, like, in a lot of UK scenes, for me anyway, it seems that everyone's very negative and apprehensive when it comes to making features, and you're constantly told, oh, there's no money, there's no route for someone that doesn't have 20 years experience and 8,000 members of staff and all these credits. But yeah, this guy just didn't have that reaction at all. He had the complete opposite, to be honest, and it was just so reassuring to finally meet someone like that just gets the vision and also is ambitious. Like, he's not worried about funding, he's not worried about anything like that. He knows he can get it, he knows where to get it, and like, that's just the exact dynamic that I'm after. But yeah, so after that I was in cloud9. I basically, for the next 2 days, just thought, you know what, I've found what I'm looking for, I'm so excited, I feel like I've kind of done what I was here to do, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to spend time with my friends, because I hadn't really gone out for dinners or been for drinks or anything this entire trip, and we went for dinner. I ended up going out to Cafe de Arts with one of my friends, which is like a bar that all the kind of younger artists go to after all the MIFA things are done, and it's just so amazing to meet so many artists and so many like inspiring people, and just the level of positivity and joy and just encouragement, especially in times of like AI and fucking Zoom and things like that. Like, to be in person and see the whites of someone's eyes and let's see how passionate they are about the project and how fucking unbelievably talented they all are, and also to get a response like that for me. Like, I've never really been around creative people, and like, the amount of love and positivity I've received is honestly quite hard to handle. But yeah, so I did that, got home, didn't sleep, went back out of town the next day, and like, I had a ticket to a film, and as somebody who'd not been to a film all week at a film festival, I thought, I have to go see this, because I mean, I have to see at least one film in this fucking place. But I ended up meeting my friends by the lake, and I thought, like, there's no point in just sitting at a fucking movie theatre and doing nothing for a few hours. So I thought, we'll all go for ice cream, we'll all go for dinner, then we went out for drinks, and it was such like a nice night. And it's, sorry, there's people around, and I'm terrible at recording when there's people around. Yeah, it was such a beautiful night, and I'm just so blessed to have people like that in my life that are so supportive and so just wonderful. Like, it's just not really something I've had, to be honest, in a lot of ways, especially creatively. So to kind of celebrate each other like that and be in a place like Annecy, it's just the most beautiful place in the world. So but yeah, ended up going out all night, back to Cafe de Arts, went to the Captain's, and I ended up getting back to my hotel at about 3 in the morning. I had to pack my bags and then get up at 6 in the morning so that I could go and film by the lake before anyone was there. Because if you can't tell, I am dreadful at recording things when people are around, but we persevere. Yeah, did all that, and then I was like, I need to get back out of town early because I've got a booking for the museum, and that's the only thing I had booked all week. So grabbed all my things, checked out the hotel, took my 40-minute bus to Annecy, and got to the museum only to discover that I had booked it for the previous week. So and shout out to the volunteers for being lovely, but I was not allowed in the museum and they would not rebook my ticket. So basically I wandered back out of town in the heat with nothing to do, nowhere to go. So I thought I'll go and get a bite to eat at this bagel shop that I found the day before, which is the greatest bagel I've ever had in my life. So if you're ever in Annecy, go to Le 3. Le 3 is fucking spectacular. But I thought I'll just chill there for a little bit, have a bit of food, and then, I don't know, go get the bus. And for starters, they had the most beautiful little dog I've ever seen. It was a little poodle, and she was a wee old lady, and she was fantastic. So I played with her for a bit, chatted to the owner, and then had my food and a wee coffee. And I thought, again, in typical fashion, I usually eat in about 2 seconds and then flee the scene. But one of my friends said that she was on her way over, so I thought, you know what, I'll wait for her. I'll just chill out here. I've got nothing to do anyway. And it's just mad how fate works, because she arrived, she ordered food, she sat down, and then almost immediately we encountered a very lovely man. Again, I don't know if I'm allowed to say people's names or nationalities or companies, so just say I met a very nice man who'll probably know who he is. And he commented on the accent, and he was just, oh, are you from Scotland? That's an amazing accent. And normally with those kind of interactions I would like say thank you and then move on, but I noticed on his card that he worked for a company that I very, very much wanted to work with, and I ended up sitting talking to him for about 25 minutes, and I just did not stop talking. I was showing him everything about the film, I was telling him all the stuff about me, I was telling him about the charity plans and things. And he was a great guy, and he was lovely, and I feel sorry for his friend and my friend, because they both sat down and didn't say a word for 25 minutes as I rabbled on. But I eventually secured an invite to the studio, which is unofficial, but again, I think these people in this industry really expect people to not follow up on these kind of things, but if somebody invites me to go see something, I am going to go see it. So whenever I am in that undisclosed city, I will hopefully go see this studio, because it could actually have a major influence on the film. But yeah, it's just one of those things where you really, really, like, every time this week that I'd completely given up hope and really thought that I'd fucked everything up, and like I couldn't go to the museum that I longed for, and I was just wasting my time. I had these chance encounters that were just spectacular, because people were at Annecy all week. They'd paid a lot more money than me to go to MIFA. They'd spent all day running around trying to meet people and hand things out. But I feel like the few interactions I had were probably far more influential than a lot of the people that had spoke to 600-700 people. So I don't know, I'm very, very blessed by the people that I'm surrounded by and the luck that I've got. But I'm super excited for the future, and I'm going to stop filming now because I'm gathering an audience. Right, the heat sucks. But yeah, so I'm Brady. I'm an independent animator and director. I'm trying to make a feature film called A Boy and His Dog, and I'm also trying to start a global rescue dog charity at the same time. And if you'd be interested in that sort of thing, please follow along. I'm going to hopefully try and show every single step of the way of going from zero experience, zero contacts, and zero money to hopefully making a feature and starting a career as a director, and also saving dogs everywhere around the world. So I'm going to go find some shade. Right, free the dogs. Peace.